Hello, welcome to Let's Get Eduscized by Splawski. My action research plan is called Let's Get Eduscized, the impact of Eduscize curriculum in teacher math instruction. So Eduscize is a curriculum program that I've been developing over the past year to increase engagement in math. I've developed a mission and vision for my Eduscize curriculum. My mission is to inspire and motivate a new generation of learners to a new way to achieve academically, socially, physically, and emotionally. The vision of the program is to find a new way to motivate students to academic achievement through physical activity. We believe that this program can create a nationwide change in education. The goals of Eduscize are to motivate students to connect academic competition to fitness competition. 2, to increase our student math achievement through kinesthetic learning. 3, to inspire students to value their personal, social, and emotional health while embracing a growth mindset. 4, drop the tech and get outside. And 5, increase our students' motivation to reach 60 minutes of daily activity. So many of these things are so important. When I just think of in 2008 when the United States mandated that children should have 60 minutes of daily activity, it's really astounding how many students are still not meeting that goal on a daily basis. Only 50% of our boys in elementary school are meeting that, while 75% of our girls are not meeting that, just in elementary school alone. This leads to, why did I create Eduscize? Well, Eduscize is more than just a word. It's really a philosophy of what my teaching is. And my philosophy in education can be summed up with a few words. It's every day is a fun day. Growing up in school, it seemed that no matter what grade level I was in, I had to sit in the desk, I had to sit still, and it was all day, every day. That's all I did on a daily basis. And honestly, when I became a teacher, I said, I'm going to blow up the classroom. My classroom is going to be completely different than anything I experienced growing up in elementary, middle school, high school, and all the way through college. We still do that same old boring sit and get learning. So Eduscize is really the foundation of who I am as an educator and what I believe works best for children. Critical questions. How can implementing kinesthetic-based lessons increase student engagement in math? 2, how can implementing Eduscize lessons impact student achievement in math? 3, how does Eduscize impact teaching practices? And last but not least, has Eduscize helped increase your students' opportunities to reach 60 minutes of daily activity? So let's talk about some research that I thought was really important for my study. 2 years ago, I read this article from Varma et al. In 2017 that found that the average 19-year-old had the same daily physical activity as a 60-year-old. When I heard that at the time, I was thinking my parents. My parents are in their mid to late 60s, and they barely sit down all day. They're still like some of the most active people I know. And you find that the more active you are, the healthier you are as you grow later in life. A really cool study that I found, the Kaiser Family Foundation has been doing a study. This is their 3rd time doing the study in the past 10 years. And in 2010, they still found that the average student sits in the classroom for 4.5 hours a day. And what their study really focused on was how much children are using media from 8-year-olds to 18-year-olds. And it's crazy that the average 8 to 18-year-old is using 7.5 hours of media a day. That means our kids are just sitting around. I mean, think about it. We got 24 hours a day, so they're on a media device for 7.5 hours. They're sleeping 8 hours. And our school day, if you even think about it, is only 6.5 hours a day. And we got to get these kids up and moving, because exercise has significant benefits for brain function, and physical activity improves learning and memory. And also, our brain has a set of neurotransmitters called dopamine. When dopamine is released, it provides motivation and reward within our brain. And that's what Eduscize does. Eduscize is a game-based learning approach that motivates students to have a good time while learning. So my methodology, the study will take place in 7 classrooms. It's going to be done in 1 first grade, 1 second, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as well as kindergarten, and 1 special education units. The teachers are going to have anywhere from 1 to 3 years experiences. I'm going to have two teachers there. Then I'm going to have two teachers with 5 to 15 years experiences and two teachers with 15 more years of experience. I thought that this would give me a lot of different uh, qualitative data that I'd be able to use and understand and see the differences in years that teachers have taught as well as their methodologies in their own practices. So within my methodology, I'm doing quite a bit of observation. I'm going to do 14 total observations. 7 of the observations will take place in each of the individual classrooms, and then the other 7, I'm going to be using a swivel robotic camera to record their lessons, and we'll actually watch the lessons together, so I can collect more data. I'll use the observations to collect student data as well. And really, the main focus of qualitative study is because I'm still doing quantitative, but I'm using Likert surveys, and I'm doing many other surveys that will give me information on student data as well as student qualitative information about what they think about Eduscize, since I'm not physically in the classroom and I'm the one creating the curriculum, and I'm really more of I'm not actually teaching it to the students. I'm training the staff on how to do it, and then I'll be observing how the lessons are working out in the classrooms. Um, so the study will take place from January 7th through February 15th, 2020. Throughout, one thing that I thought was a cool idea, we're going to have what I'm going to call share outs. We're going to meet 3 times throughout the study to kind of just talk and get a feel for what's going on with all the teachers and get a general idea of the classroom setting. This is an example of a survey that the teachers will be taking. Some of the surveys are only 1 question. My longest survey is 10 questions, and most of them are just rating on a Likert scale. They're giving me the name of the lesson. There are 72 lessons I've developed, so the teachers aren't going to use every single lesson over the course of the study. But this will help me know if the lesson was effective, was easy to follow, were the materials correct, did the teachers have a good time? Then I'll get some qualitative data by having the teachers write about how the students interactive and also discuss student achievement as well. So here's a sample lesson. So for each grade level, so there's a total of 72 lessons that I've been developing that are K through 5. So every single game for K5 is going to be the same. Like this one's called Bounce a Pong. It's using ping pong balls that have numbers either 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. And then depending on the grade level, it's going to work on different skills. So for example, 3rd grades is really working on learning fluency in their multiplication facts. So the students are using academic competition to compete against 2 teams of bouncing a ping pong ball. So for example, if I had 2 and it landed in 5, I'd have to multiply 2 times 5 equals 10. And then I have to solve it correctly and save my information to prove that I got the answer right. And then whichever group has all 10 of their cups and matches done first is the winner of the game. And depending on the grade level, it's going to work differently. But the instruction throughout each game is going to be very similar for each grade level. So the lessons were written in a very methodical way where I had this, so it wouldn't matter what grade was doing it. And I'm also doing videos that the teachers can watch as well so they can get a better grasp on what the game is like. Here's an example. All right, I'm sure that's enough of my amazing YouTube video for you to watch there. But essentially, they have a video, so if they need extra directions other than just the lesson plan, they can check out a video as well. So obviously, the whole goal is for my results, what I'm hoping for is to increase student math engagement. When I was in the classroom, there were so many kids who struggled with math, and my way of increasing their engagement and getting them to love math was through gameplay. I always had 2 game stations in my classroom at all times, so there is really good engagement. And when students worked with me, we were normally up and moving instead of just sitting and getting. The second goal is obviously to increase our math achievement. We really want the really main focus is our number sense, really to work on those addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division skills so they can increase their higher order thinking skills. And then, of course, I'm looking for teachers to try new methods within their practices and to see what the teachers thought of those, and hopefully the teachers fall in love with them as well. And of course, I'm also trying to increase our students' opportunities to reach 60 minutes of daily exercise. I mean, just jumping and doing basic kinesthetic movement does incorporate, even though it's a low heart rate activity, some of the games that I've developed have higher heart rates as well. And ideally, the whole goal of my study is to turn my Eduscize curriculum into a book so I can get it out into as many classrooms as possible, because the benefits to it are definitely going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see what this adventure leads us on. So those are my references, and I hope you enjoyed listening to my Let's Get Eduscize, the impact of Eduscize curriculum and teacher math instruction. Again, I'm Sean Splawski. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great day. See ya.